Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. So this time it is for Creed 3. Just came back after watching it, actually. So I'm a huge fan of the Rocky franchise. I've watched it countless of times, and I'll never get bored. I always enjoy it. So therefore, I was looking forward to Creed 3, even though Rocky's not in it. But hey, look, man, this is just me, okay? If y'all feel the same, drop it down in the comments. But I just don't think this franchise can go far without Rocky. Because, again, this is just me, though. I feel like a lot of people started to only watch Creed because it has Rocky in it and a lot of the elements from the Rocky franchises. So I think that's what made people watch Creed in the first place because, hey, even though it's not really about Rocky anymore, we still have Rocky, we still have the stuff about Rocky. So I feel like there's the reason that pulls the Rocky fans to watch the Creed franchise. And I won't be surprised if there are people who don't know that Creed is even a part of Rocky because I've met a few people that like they're like huge fans of Rocky, but then they don't have no idea that Creed is actually a part of Rocky, and that should say a lot. So if they're doing what I think they're doing and going in a solo direction where it's now Adonis only, franchise, no more Rocky connection at all. I don't think they're gonna, do very well because, like I said, why people are actually watching it. So even, look at the first two movies. It had Rocky in it, but still, it was not as successful or as talked about as the Rocky series. And without Rocky, I don't think it would even be close to that at all. But I don't know what they're planning to do with each franchise. But yeah, whatever happens, let's just wait and see. But anyways, this is Michael B. Jordan's first movie as director, and I would say he did so good for like first time directing. I would say he was really impressive. So hats off to him though. Excuse me. So also for me, I didn't really feel like I was watching a boxing movie when I was watching this movie because the boxing was not the main focus of the movie. The main focus of the movie was more to like the his childhood stuff and his family stuff. I felt like that was more of the main focus of the movie rather than the boxing. With the first two movies, the boxing was the main thing, especially in the first one where the boxing was the most heavy stuff. Other stuff was a little bit, and then the second one, had the Drago Creed thing, and the boxing was still the focus. Even if you look at the Rocky series, it had about I don't know a lot about Rocky himself, but it was still about boxing. The movie was still about boxing, but this movie I just felt like it was not. I'm not really watching a boxing movie or about boxing, but it was just about him, his life, his childhood, his family, and the boxing was just all around it, basically. So that's what how I saw it because I just could not really see it as a boxing movie. And this movie actually reminded me a lot of Rocky Five because it was really similar. Man. When I was watching it, I keep thinking, man, this is Rocky Five. This is Rocky Five. Because this is almost similar because, Rocky's no longer a boxer. And then, Adonis is no longer a boxer, so he kind of retired and then he has his own promotions and, training area. He has his own boxers that he look after. And then here comes Damien and then he has them for ask Adonis for help, and then Adonis kind of gives them a boost to the main event and all that. And then once Damien wins the championship, he turns his back on him, and then there are people who are saying that hey, you should not have done this, you should not have done this. So it was very similar to Rocky Five. So it was very similar. It's just the way they did it. It was different. Because the different circumstances and different, people. So yeah, that was different, but it was really similar. And this movie, like I said, is a lot about his childhood and how he grew up with Damien. And they actually show you a small scene in the beginning, which is how it started, of Damien and Adonis. And Damien was actually a boxer from the start. He won a bunch of trophies. He was really good. And Adonis was actually like his little manager. And after that scene, something happens, but they don't show you the whole scene right then and there because they actually show you bit by bit of that same scene as the movie progresses, as the scenes and dialogues, like they show you that scene at the proper moment when it's supposed to be shown. And I think they did that part pretty well. I like that part. And, it kind of shows his connection to Damien ending up in prison. He kind of has a part to it, and then he kind of runs away, and then he kind of tries to forget about it. Even his mom, well, his adoptive mom, kind of hides all the letters that Damien was sending him in prison. So, after a while, he kind of forgets everything, and then, Damien kind of comes back after prison and meets him, and then everything kind of comes back for Adonis, all the childhood stuff, what happened at the group home. So I like how they actually used the group home as one of the stuff in the story. Like, it was one of the driving forces of the story. And because it was actually mentioned in the first movie, like he was actually, shouting at little Duke when, hey, where were you when I was in our group home? It made it look like he went through something bad, which they actually touched up on that in this one, where he actually showed what actually happened to him in the group home and everything. So I liked how they used something existing in his past rather than just make up something, just because how sometimes they do it with sequels. They would just invent a past for him that supposedly the protagonist went through, just because there's a sequel. But rather, in this movie, they took something that was like, there's a small detail from the first movie, and then they made it a bigger plot, added more stuff to it. So I think it was actually done perfectly. So Jonathan Majors did a great job as Damien. And I swear to you, they actually also made a really good job at making you feel sympathy for Damien. Like, they actually did a really good job at that part, because like before his first fight against the champion, I was like, man, I really feel bad for this guy. The way they did that scene, like, I was like, man, this is really sad. Because like, and like a lot of the stuff that he said was true as well, because when during this the start of the movie, it looked like he went to prison because of him, and then he came out of prison 18 years later, and he's already older than Adonis, and then he was already in prison for 18 years, and he was like, hey, I'm getting old. And when he was younger in that scene in the beginning, he was like, hey, I want to become champion. But then now he's like, hey, I'm old, my time is not, my time is running out, like I have to be champion right now. So Adonis kind of hesitates a little bit, and then when he comes out for his first fight, everyone boos at him and a lot of stuff. Like, man, it was really sad. Like, they did a good job at making you kind of feel sympathy for him. But after the first fight, shit, I was like, you son of a bitch. So they did a good job at making you hate him as well. Like, once he won the first fight, he was like, oh wait, you helped me? No, you didn't. So he automatically turned. He had a bunch of people with him. Like, and that was really quick too. Like, that was literally after the fight. He was somewhere in the beach with a bunch of people, and like they had guns and everything protecting him from Adonis as well. So only after the fight, Adonis kind of, found out that he kind of did something in order to get that fight. Even though Adonis was the one that gave the fight to him, something happened in, the background that kind of led Adonis to give it to him, but he didn't even know it himself. But they would actually reveal it later, so you would actually, know about it more. So, Damien, he was already a good boxer, but he just didn't know, like, the rules and stuff. So in his first fight, he, he decimated the champion, and he kind of played dirty as well, using the elbows and knees and stuff, but the referee somehow didn't see it, I guess. Yeah, what is this referee, bro? FIFA World Cup 2022 referees, I guess. But yeah, anyway, so he kind of just destroys him because he has been training in, prison as well, apparently. So yeah, so Adonis, like, the whole plot was basically Adonis needing to accept what happened, everything during his childhood, because since everything is coming back to him, he kind of has to talk to somebody about it. And then the only way to make him Damien stopped, because Damien was keep poking at him because he thought Adonis abandoned him. He didn't contact him while he was in prison and everything. So Adonis was like, well, if I want to shut him up, I have to fight him. So that was the main reason he wanted to fight him, not because of, boxing, nothing. Like I said, this movie is not really about boxing at all. It's more about the characters and the childhood stuff and the family, all that. That was like the main driving point, and then the boxing was just there, I guess. So Adonis comes out of retirement, and then he, trains and stuff, and then he fights Damien and beats him. And then at the end, they were, cool with it. They kind of accepted it. What's happened. So yeah, it took a fight, and it took Adonis beating Damien before they actually, were cool with it. So that's what I was saying. That's the point of the boxing match. Like, it was not actually about boxing or anything. It didn't really matter. What mattered was most like the development of them two. That was like the main thing of the movie. So, but Adonis's character, like I swear, but I don't really like Adonis's character even in the last movie. I feel like he was kind of selfish at a lot of points. Like he does what he wants, and anyone who doesn't okay with it, he would be mad at them. And then when he gets his ass whooped, and then he's gonna be mad at that person for not being there, even though they already said you shouldn't do it. So in this movie, I would say, yeah, the favorite thing I really like is his relationship with his daughter. His daughter's all grown up now, and I really like that a lot. That was really cute, the relationship between him and his daughter. It was just really nice. But he was also two-faced at some point, because because like he kind of helped Damien get a championship match, even though, like I said, he did something to get it. And then the champion guy is actually, Adonis's guy. He trains at Adonis's gym. So he would go backstage and talk to Damien, give him, like the words of stuff, and then he would come to the ring and then be like, he would be on the champion side. So he keeps switching faces like the promoter does in the last movie. So he kind of had that promoter behavior where he keep being two-faced and being supportive of both people. Like he want his to win, he want him to win. So, and then he didn't really expected Damien to beat. So I feel like he kind of set his old pal up for failure, because he was the one that gave the title shot to him, and then he kind of expected the champion to win, meaning he was expecting his own brother basically to lose. So that was kind of messed up, to be honest, now that I think about it. So yeah, I didn't really like Adonis's character that much, but then seeing how later on the stuff happens, I guess that's important for character development, I guess. So Victor Drago was in this movie, I just remembered. So Drago was actually cool with Adonis, so apparently, now they're cool, they're buddies. And what I didn't really like about what they did with Victor Drago is that in the first movie he was kind of a problem. He was a monster, he was unstoppable, he was going through everybody. But in this movie, what they did with Drago was, like, they just made him just like another fighter, like he's just another fighter. Like he went from like a really unstoppable beast, like they were showing him knocking out people in the first round and stuff, to now in this movie he was just another fighter. Like they just kind of downgraded him a little bit. He just didn't look like that monster anymore. Because to be honest with you, I feel like he should have been champion after Adonis retired, but somehow the other dude became champion. But yeah, I think it would not have made sense for Drago to be champion, but then he was going to lose to Damien. So I guess for the plot reasons, yeah, I think it makes sense to not have Drago become champion. So yeah, but hey, even to be honest with you, in the second movie, I rooted for Drago. I hoped Drago would beat Adonis, because I cared more about Drago's story more in Creed 2 than Adonis' story. So yeah, that's the part where it was not really cool, like how they seem to have downgraded Drago a little bit in this movie. And he was also used as a sparring partner for Adonis when he was fighting to come back and stuff. So I kind of didn't like how they downgraded him a little bit, because it makes him look like he's not really that beast anymore, even though he's still an active boxer and stuff. But yeah, so well, Rocky, like I said earlier, it was a big mistake. Now look, I understand some people are saying that, hey, maybe Rocky's not in it because the story itself doesn't really suit having Rocky in it. That's wrong, because Rocky actually could have been in this movie. I have no idea why, because I have no idea why they choose to put him there, but there were scenes in this movie where I was like, man, Rocky could have been here, Rocky could have been here, Rocky could have been here. That's all I could think about. Like literally, Rocky could have been in this movie and nothing could have changed. They could have kept Rocky in the movie and nothing could have changed, but they kind of replaced the role of Rocky with Lil Duke, and then as the trainer, and then the motivational stuff was replaced by his wife. So I think literally Rocky could have been there. It would have changed certain sentences, but I think the story itself could have still went in the same direction with Rocky in it. But I don't know why they didn't want to insert Rocky in it, because I heard that apparently the writers wrote a story that did not have Rocky in it, so therefore didn't have Rocky in it, so Stallone was kind of pissed at it, and therefore he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that movie. And apparently I heard that he said he would be open to return to Rocky 4 if the same writers did not return as well. I don't know if it's the writers, because that's what I heard in an interview that said that they wrote a story without him being involved in it, so therefore it's like, yeah, I don't know why they would actually do that, though. I feel like there might be another reason why they didn't even put him in there, because it's not really a problem of him not fitting in the story, because he literally could have fit in, because I kept thinking about it throughout the movie. I'm like, Rocky could have been here, Rocky could have been here. I keep thinking about that the whole movie. I feel like it actually could have worked out, but they just did not. I don't know what was the reason they did not do it. But yeah, it didn't happen, so I guess we just have to accept it. So that was Creed 3. I would say not as a boxing movie, not a great movie, but as just a movie, I would say it was actually pretty well done. Michael B. Jordan again did a great job, even though he's a first time director and everything. So the ending, I don't know, or is it supposed to be a Creed 4 ending or something? Because it didn't really look like a last movie type ending, and also didn't look like hey, a sequel is coming kind of ending. So maybe there's going to be a sequel. I hope they change the writer so that Rocky could return, because I swear, man, I really need Rocky there. And hey, to be honest with you, I won't even be opposed to the idea of Clubber Lang coming back. Well, Clubber Lang's son, because I heard that was the original plan for Creed 3, but I think I actually preferred the direction that they took in this movie, going through his childhood and stuff. But I would still prefer that they made the movie more about boxing instead of more about his life story stuff. So yeah, that's it. What I think. So overall, I would say I enjoyed the movie. I can definitely see myself watching this again in theaters. Y'all know sometimes some movies are just bad that I will never pay to watch it again. But this is one of those movies that I will definitely pay to watch it again. So this was really good. So we're looking forward to what the future holds in the Rocky Creed franchise. So yeah, that's all for my review for Creed 3. So if you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, subscribe, comment down below if you already watched it. And also comment down below what you think about what I said earlier about, Creed not being as successful as Rocky without Rocky in it. What you think about that? So if you agree or disagree, whatever, just comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let's argue about it or whatever. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Yeah, take care. Goodbye.